I love rogues in things like RPGs, and the Nightshade fills that role so well within Mandragora. It is a class that's all about using daggers for quick attacks like that to get in and out of danger, as well as stacking poison and sharp stones to increase your damage output. This means you can land some quick strikes on enemies, just like this, dance around them, landing crits, and get around with a high amount of stamina to be able to dart around enemies like such. You'll see the poison tick down on enemies just like so, and we even have chains that we can connect to enemies, so that when we are landing all our abilities, we can run in quick strikes and chip away at them. Now, the one downside with the Nightshade is they do have a lack of durability, but then what rogues don't. So this is a class you have to play rather carefully. Now to start this, we're going to start with Assassination Mastery, obviously at the bottom, allowing you to wield daggers. And from here we're going to go to the left, we're going to pick up the Endurance +1, Dexterity +1, this will be what increases your weapon damage. Another Dexterity, to the left once more for Corrosive Agent, gain 15% armor penetration. Additionally, your poison effects reduce the armor of affected enemies by 6% per stack. This is awesome because if you can land 3 stacks, that's almost 20% armor gone, and then you've still got 15% armor penetration on top. Once you've got this, we're going to come north, pick up the Vigor +1, into the offensive node and put a Dex in here. You'll see when you fill out these nodes with all 3 stats, you'll eventually pick up a +1 poison chance, and that's just free damage at that point. Now we'll come back to the middle, and then we're going to come to the right to pick up Dex +1, another Dex +1, into Power +1, and then Dark Focus. Your weapon attacks deal additional 78 damage, this effect has a 5-second cooldown, again this is just free damage. From here, come to the middle, back where our Assassination Mastery was, and we're going to come north to Vigor for a Vigor +1. For Defense +1, when we follow this an anti-clockwise direction, around for a Dex +1, a Defense +1, into Vigor +1, and then south for Opportunist. You periodically reveal weak points on nearby enemies. Hitting the weak point with a weapon attack from the correct direction exploits the weak point, dealing 390 damage and generating a combo point. Why are combo points so important? This is what allows you to do your abilities. Whereas spellcasters get mana, we get combo points, and this is built up by basically attacking enemies and dealing damage to them. From here we're going to come north, pick up Vigor +1. North once more for Constitution +1, and then to the left for the Vitality node to put a Constitution +1 in here. We're going to come to the north, sort of like the top left I guess, for Endurance +1, into Encore. Increases your maximum combo points by 1. Again, more combo points, more abilities you can pump out. Back into the middle, we're going to the right to pick up Offensive node. Again, put a Dexterity +1 in here. To the top right for Dex +1, into Noxious Amplifier. Applying a poison effect to an enemy refreshes all existing stacks of poison on them, meaning you can keep generating that poison, and therefore, thanks to our ability down here of Dark Focus, or not Dark Focus, sorry, which one was it? Corrosive Agent, this will allow us to keep that reduction to armor going. Then once you've got that all sorted, we're going back in the middle for the Constitution +1 we've already picked up, and we're going to come north for the Defensive node. I have put a Defense in here, you could also put Constitution, choice is yours, but as you see, once you fill this out, you do get a +2 to armor. We're then going to come to the right for Dex +1, Endurance +1, Dex +1, into another Defense node, and again, I've just put a +1 Defense in here. We come south for Dexterity +1, south once more for another Dex +1, and this leads into Lucky Streak. Dealing 2 critical strikes with the weapon attacks in a row restores 30 stamina. This effect has a 5-second cooldown, so physical crit chance here is really important. You can see we're currently rocking 35%, so just under half, and our crit damage is almost 200%. Once you've got this locked down, we're going to come north until we need the Endurance +1, and then north once more for Finesse. Your weapon attacks increase your physical crit chance by 0.5%, stacking up to 20 times. Taking damage will reset this. So again, the more you can sort of like dance around the battlefield, being able to sneaky, jump behind people, get those attacks in, your crit chance will increase. From here, come down, and then we're going to the right. We're going to go for the Vigor +1, the Offensive node +1, again put a Dex in here, and then follow this round for an Endurance +1, a Constitution +1, and then north, the Dual Blade Expert. You have a 15% chance to not consume a combo point when spending it. Again, not spending combo points basically just means free abilities. Now from here, once we've got this node in the middle, we are going to come back to the node just below Finesse, and then we're going to come to the right, pick up a Dex +1. Right again for Plow +1, and then north for Nether Blades. Your weapon attacks have a 9% chance to summon a shadowy blade that cuts across the target from either side, dealing 200 damage to all enemies in its path, and this is awesome. This is essentially a really high damage dealer, especially on mobs and bosses. It's just 203 damage. Once you've got this, come to the right to pick up the crit node here and just put a physical crit chance in here. And then back to the middle to come south, and we are going to follow this in an anti-clockwise route. We're going to pick up the power +1. We're going to pick up the defensive node, into the middle for Dark Venom. So your poison damage now has 30% bonus damage as Chaos. Enemies with 5 stacks of poison on them are also afflicted by weakness. So again, building up this is just incredible. Once you've got this locked down, we are going to come back to here. We're going to go power +1, power +1, and then south for endurance +1, and then south once more for toxic cuts. Your physical critical strikes apply stacks of poison to the target. Again, you can really see how this all starts to chain together. Now once you've done this, we're going to come back north, and we are going to come to the left. Pick up a Dex +1, an endurance +1, and then another offensive node to put a Dex in here. Once you've done that, we're going to right from this point to pick up the crit node and put a physical crit chance in here. Now from here, you will see we've got 2 more nodes here that we are going to pick up before we do anything else. So pick up the defense and pick up the offensive node. It's basically just extra dexterity, extra damage. Once you've got all that rounded out, come back to where we had our dual blade expert right at the top of the screen. And then we're going to follow this back around to finish off the pathing. So pick up the endurance and then pick up the vitality node. Again, I've put +1 constitution here for that bigger health pool. We're going to left for a vigor +1. Left once more for dex +1. And then north for deadly dance. Each cut of blade dance generates 1 combo point. Follow this down, so endurance +1, dex +1, and then north for noxious focus. Blade dance gains 0.2 charge each time your poison effects deal damage. Again, the more stacks we have, not only do we reduce armor, we deal damage, and now we have 0.2 charges build up on our blade dance. Once you got this, come to the left for the crit node to pick up the physical crit chance node, and then follow this south. Constitution +1, dex +1, constitution +1, into toxic pool. Each time your poison effect deals damage, then have a 3% chance to form a toxic pool under the target. These pools will last for 10 seconds and deal 27 damage per second to enemies standing in them. This is awesome for really like slow, unmobile enemies. Enemies dying while poisoned always create a toxic pool, so if you can get enemies to take that tick damage to die, they'll make a pool, other enemies will walk into it, and you can just get the cycle to repeat. So once you fill out the skill tree, fill out all these nodes, the most important being the offensive node. Pick up those decks. Put the +1 dex into all of them to eventually get that +1 poison chance. If we come to our node, you will see on the left hand side our poison chance is 23%, which is almost 1 in 4 hits. We also have a 7% bleed chance. I like just comparing them together. I think if you can get bleed and poison going, it's pretty damn good. Once you have filled out all these offensive nodes you have picked up, it is time to fill out your crit nodes. So by filling out the crit node, putting in a +1 physical chance, we don't want magic. Once you do this, as you'll see on the node I filled over here, you get a +1 critical chance to everything. So again, we have a physical crit chance of 35% and a poison chance of 23%. When it comes to skills, the 2 skills I am using is Envenom. This will coat your weapons in dagger for 30 seconds. I have this fully upgraded, so we gain extra 20% damage based on our dex scaling, extra 10% duration, and the application hits every 3 hits. And Backlash. Leap backwards and throw a hidden blade that deals 129 damage and 87 chaos damage. The blade impales into the first enemy for 8 seconds. Now, I have done this, and you would have seen this during the little combat thing at the beginning, and we can reactivate it. Pull the blade back, dealing 150% of its damage to the primary target and all enemies in its path. So essentially, this is kind of like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. You throw a blade, jump backwards, and then you can pull the blade out, and in a path, it will take out a bunch of enemies. By fully upgrading this as I have, if the blade spends at least 5 seconds being impaled in the enemy, it becomes empowered, dealing 50% increased damage when recalled. The damage of the backlash now also scales with power, and empowered blade grants 10 power for 20 seconds when they return to you. So huge damage spikes. When it comes to weapons, I am using the Crimson Slicers because I think these are awesome. A+ scaling with Dex. We gain a 7% physical crit chance, 7% bleed chance, and I've put a rune on here for 10% poison chance. For equipment, I've gone with the Amberfell Tunic, 7 armor, 2 dex, 3 spirit, and a rune on here for 11 defense. For a hat, I've gone with the Raider hat, 2 armor, 7% physical crit chance, 15% critical damage, and a rune of 8 defense to try and tank us up a little bit. I've also gone with the Raider gloves for 1 armor, 5% physical crit chance, and 10% damage. The Raider leggings for 2.5% armor, 3 dex, 3 endurance, 3 vigor. And then the light leather cape, 1 armor, 10 critical damage, and 5 physical damage. For rings, the Venom ring for 7% poison chance. The Guild's complement for 1 combo point. The Ring of Energy for another 20 stamina. And the Assassin ring for 7% physical crit chance. By the end game, you could get rid of the Venom ring, and ideally you want to take the Ring of Corruption, as this will add the same amount of poison damage, 7%, and also 7% bleed damage. So it's kind of a trade-off. If you're willing to get rid of the poison chance, you can take the increased damage. Choice is yours at this point. If you're finding your poison pops a lot, and then you don't need to really worry about it, you can increase the damage, or vice versa. I just like getting the chance higher to guarantee it. And that is the build. So if we run into danger, I am going to play this rather quick. You can see we distract the enemies, build up those combo points. We'll ignore the poison all around. You'll see the enemy has 4 stacks of poison, so that is 24% armor penetration, or sorry, armor reduction, as well as our armor penetration. We can dance through these guys here. We can get our chain going, and then when we withdraw it, you'll see all the damage it just caused. And that is essentially it, so I really hope you have enjoyed this guide. If you have, please drop the video a like, helps me tremendously, and let me know what you think of the Nightshade in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I've got more guides to Baldur's Gate, to Path of Exile, Dragon Age, Mandragora, Elden Ring, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, basically all the amazing RPGs you could ever need. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!